This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This is Optimal Living Daily. If you only aim for perfection, then... by James Altucher of jamesaltucher.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Happy Friday and welcome back to Optimal Living Daily, or OLD, or OLD if you like, where I read blogs to you for free. It's an award-winning podcast thanks to you, and thank you to the authors for giving me permission. I could not do it without them. James Altucher is a popular one. He's also a podcaster. Let's get right to his post and continue optimizing your life. If you only aim for perfection, then... by James Altucher of jamesaltucher.com. Perfectionism. My dad would hit me if I brought home a report card with 1 B. And even worse, I was a bad student. It's almost a cliche to say that perfectionism is the enemy of perfect, particularly in a post about being perfect. Because it's true. If you only aim for perfection, then you won't take enough risks. Risks are the cracks in your life where knowledge and experience can seep through and infect you. And I hate to admit it about myself, but when I love something, I want it to be perfect. When I throw my all into something, I want to win all the time. But that's just a setup for disappointment. I try very hard to go with the flow a bit more, try my best to give up control over the results. But it's a practice, and I'm working on it. Don't care what people think. Most of the time, I don't care. But then sometimes I do. Last night I went on a podcast at the Comedy Cellar in New York. I'd never been on their podcast before. I was afraid the other guests would judge me depending on how funny I was or not. It's hard to be yourself in every situation. You know why? I suspect there is no such thing as myself. Depending on mood, chemicals, life circumstance, etc., myself changes every day. We can only do our best here, and even that is hard to do. There's no recipe for authenticity. I just try to be honest and say what's on my mind without hurting anyone. Follow-up. I am horrible at follow-up. This is how bad I am. I was asked to speak at the Airbnb Open. 15,000 people were there. I spoke. It was fun. I went on stage with 100% of the things I own, and I said, okay, I just moved to this stage. This is where I live. Everyone laughed, and that's how it started. Afterwards, one of the founders of Airbnb wrote me to thank me and said, stop by next time you're in town. Guess what? I didn't write back. And this is normal for me. I am so bad at following up. This happens every day of my life. And then people get upset at me and forget about me and so on. If I was just a tiny bit better at follow-up over the past 20 years, my network would be 100 times bigger. And it's already pretty big. The good news is this, I realized that if I follow up even years later, 90% of the time, people are even more surprised and happy than if I followed up right away. Or maybe this is just wishful thinking. In any case, I wish I were better at this. Learning. I read a lot. I love to read. I read nonfiction, biographies, literary fiction, thriller fiction, and books about games. Almost every day I read a little bit from all of these. And I'm blessed in that I have a podcast. So if I get confused on a book, I can call up the author and say, come on my podcast. And I get to ask all the questions I wanted. But then I forget. My memory has gotten worse with age. I thought I was coming down with early onset Alzheimer's. One time I read a book and wrote my podcast producer and said, let's have this guy on the podcast. He wrote a great book. And she wrote back, James, you already read the book. He already came on the podcast and we released it a month ago. Well, never mind then. So I asked Stephen Dubner, who wrote Freakonomics, how much he remembers when he reads a book. He reads hundreds of books per year to research his own books and podcasts. I thought he would say 50%. He said maybe 1%. Phew. So here's the key. Read the book, talk about it with peers. For me, I also try to write 10 things I learned from X. I do this on books, podcasts, people I meet, even songs I like, anything. And then teach what I learned, maybe in a talk, maybe by living it, maybe by writing it. I try to do all of these. Unless you pour your life into a piece of knowledge, you will never drink fully from it. Being a good father. I'm okay at it, okay enough that I know my kids love me and learn from me, and I think I'm a positive in their life. But somehow when I think about it, I feel a little bit sad, like I can be doing more. And I try, but I don't know, I could try harder. It's such an important job to hand off to the world better adults than I was. That's how the world can get better. That's the compound interest of the planet. Okay, I'm gonna call my kids right now. You just listened to the post titled, If You Only Aim for Perfection, Then, by James Altucher of jamesaltucher.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
And thank you to James. He always has a unique perspective and probably one of the original minimalists out there, as he was living with very few things for a good portion of his life. I think he still does, but don't hold me to it. His podcast is The James Altucher Show. It's a popular one, and of course you can find more about him at jamesaltucher.com. I still struggle with perfectionism with certain aspects of our podcast network, but slowly have given up more and more control, and that's only been a good thing. As difficult it is to do, relinquishing control and perfectionistic tendencies does pay off in the end. And speaking of end, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you for being here and listening every day. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back over the weekend where your optimal life awaits.